Hello, my name is Mike Estella. I'm an applications engineer with Photron, and today I'm going to be talking about optimizing performance in PFV4. So let's take a look at some of the common causes of poor performance when using the PFV4 software. If you're using an older PC that doesn't meet the recommended specs for PFV4, you can notice a lot of lag or slow refresh rates. The PFV4 software is frequently being updated and improved, so we recommend to keep up to date and download the latest version that is available on our website. It's also important to update the drivers for your network adapter and video card. PFV4 does a lot of its processing on the GPU on your PC, so making sure the software is assigned to utilize the higher power GPU, if available, can have a big impact on performance. Lastly, adjusting network settings in your network adapter and PFV4 software can also improve performance. In a moment, I'll do a short demonstration going over a few of these points, but first, let's take a look at the system requirements and recommended specs for the PFV4 software. You want to make sure you're using the 64-bit version of Windows 10 or 11 Pro, Enterprise, or Education editions. A recent generation Intel Core i5 CPU or better, 16 gigabytes system RAM or more, Intel HD graphics or better. Most laptops will come with an integrated graphics chip, and this can work well with one camera setups, but if you're planning on using multiple cameras or want the best performance, then it's highly recommended to use an NVIDIA GPU with 4 gigabytes of VRAM or more. If you're using an older hard drive for mass storage, your offload times could be limited by the write speeds of the drive. To avoid this, use an NVMe M.2 solid-state drive for storage and the fastest write speeds. 1 or 10 gigabit Ethernet compatible network adapter. All modern laptops and desktops will have a 1 gigabit Ethernet network adapter, but if you're using an older laptop or USB adapter, you need to make sure it is rated for at least 1000 base T. If you plan to use a 10 gigabit Ethernet, you need either a 10 gigabit Ethernet PCIe card, and these are most commonly found and used in desktops, or a Thunderbolt to 10 gigabit Ethernet network adapter, and these are most commonly found and used in laptops. Cat6a cabling or better is recommended. Lastly, it's best to avoid AMD GPUs and CPUs. The PFV4 software is developed under the Intel platform and compiler, so it's recommended to stick with a full Intel environment. AMD PCs can and have worked with PFV4, but they may require workarounds to avoid affinity errors and crashes. All right, now let's touch on some of the points that we just went over on the slides. So I'm here in Windows and I'm going to open up my device manager. Now I've done that and I'm going to expand this display adapters section right here. And you'll see this particular laptop has Intel UHD graphics. This is the integrated chip, the less powerful of the two. And the more powerful NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060. This is a standalone card. So we want PFV to use this standalone card. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our search box and we're going to type in NVIDIA and we're going to open up the NVIDIA control panel. We'll give it a second to load. And we want to click on Manage 3D Settings, and we want to go over to Program Settings. Now, there will be a drop down here where you can open this up and look through a bunch of different programs. Now, if PFV4 is on the list, you'll want to select that. If it isn't, you'll want to click Add, and then go to PFV4, browse to wherever you installed it, and add it onto this list. Now, once it's on the list, you want to drop down this number 2 section here, and you want to make sure it's selected to high performance NVIDIA processor. Now, once you've done all that, you'll go ahead and hit apply, and now PFV4 will utilize that processor every time it's running. Next, we want to look at our network adapters. So let's select the network adapter that we're using for connection to our camera, and we'll right click on this and go to properties. We'll go to the advanced tab here, and you're looking for 2 properties in particular. The first is energy efficient Ethernet. If you have this property, you want to set it to disabled. Not all network adapters will have this property. If you don't have it, it's not that big of a deal. And next, you want to look for jumbo frames or jumbo packets. And you want to set this to the maximum value, which should be at least 9 KB or 9014 MTU. If you have an adapter that has lower than that, it's recommended that you purchase a USB adapter. There's a lot of good USB adapters out there that support jumbo packets up to 9 KB. Please email us for a recommendation. If you have a 10 gig adapter, Jumbo frames will go higher than this, and you can just set it to the maximum value that that adapter has. And we'll hit OK out of that, and we're good with our settings there. Another thing to mention too is for all of these devices that we just went over, you want to make sure that you update the driver to the latest and greatest for best performance. And the way that I recommend doing this is just copying the name of the device, go into Google, and then put driver after that, and then going to the manufacturer's website and downloading the latest driver there. The last thing to look at is our settings in the PFV4 software. You can adjust these settings with the camera connected or without one. With the software open, click on Menu in the top left, then Configuration, and select the Connection tab. You'll then click on Ethernet settings, and a window will pop up with packet size, count, and interval settings. The packet size and packet count control the size and frequency of packet transmission between the camera and PC. Lower packet settings will result in more stable connection on PCs with older network adapters for unlimited bandwidth networks. The trade-off is sometimes offload speeds can be slower. These settings can take some fine-tuning depending on how powerful your PC's hardware and the bandwidth availability on your network. It is recommended to start with conservative packet size and count settings of 1458 and 32, and then adjusting upward from there. If you're on a very low bandwidth network, you can also utilize the 1 GBE slow mode. Lastly, the 10 gigabit Ethernet interval affects 10 GBE performance. Higher numbers will result in the fastest offload times, but depending on your PC and network connections, can affect refresh rate and lag on the live feed. If you're experiencing this on your PC, simply set the number to a lower value until you find the best working combination for your PC. And when you're done with all that, you can hit OK. And then you'll have to reconnect to your camera or restart the software. And that concludes this tech tip. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you. Have a great day.